Hello and welcome to our virtual KnightLife video gallery. My name is Philip Stanton and I'm a math teacher here at Chicago Christian High School. Welcome to the math breakout session. We're going to be talking about our curriculum and some of our different math tracks and math options here at the high school today. And as I go through this, I just want you to know that all this information is available online in our curriculum guide, which also contains descriptions of each of our classes and the sequencing options that I'm going to be going over. So if you want to double check or don't remember something that I said today, that's where you can find all this information. Here at Chicago Christian, we require every student to take 3 years of math as a graduation requirement. This is a state requirement for graduation. It's one here as well. However, we do strongly encourage any students hoping to continue their education in college after graduation to take 4 years of math, as many colleges will be looking for this on their transcripts. And speaking of college admissions, we often get questions about ACT and SAT preparation in our math classes. And over the years, we've done several kind of investigations into ACT and SAT math tests. And what we found is that most of the ACT and SAT math questions, about 55%, are questions that pertain to topics covered in our Algebra I class. So we really feel that even starting in the Algebra I track here, that all of our students should be given all the background that they will need to do very well on a large portion of the questions they will see on SAT and ACT tests. You can see the specific breakdowns of what kinds of questions come from what topics on the slide. We have several different tracks and sequences of classes that students can take here. The first one we're going to begin with is our AP Calculus 4-year track. And we name these tracks according to where students will end up because we strongly encourage that students think about the ending point and not as much the starting point as they pick their math tracks. So this is the sequence you would want to take if you want to end up in AP Calculus or AP Statistics as a senior. If you want to do that, you would start in Honors Geometry as a freshman. Then you would take Honors Algebra II, and then as a junior, Honors Pre-Calculus. And from Honors Pre-Calculus, you would have the option to take either AP Calculus or AP Statistics. And every year we get a handful of students who know they want to go into a math-related field that take both of these classes as seniors. That's an option as well. I am responsible for teaching the middle tracks of the middle two classes of this track, so the Honors Algebra II and the Honors Pre-Calculus, and preparing students for the higher level math classes. For this track, we look for students to have the following things. So if you have a B+ or higher in 8th grade algebra, that would indicate to us that you're probably a good fit for this track. And we also look at MAP test scores. So a MAP test score from 241 to 259 is what we would consider a strong indicator that you'll have success in this track. Our next track we call the AP Statistics 4-year plan, which again, we just encourage that you think about where you want to end up. And this would be a track that many of our students take if they know they want to go into a science-related field, but not necessarily a math-related field. Many students that take or that major in nursing or in biology, other sciences, will need to take statistics and not necessarily calculus. So this is a great option for them. This track would involve starting in geometry, taking Algebra II as a sophomore, and taking FST, which stands for Functions, Statistics, and Trigonometry, as a junior, which would prepare them to take AP Statistics as a senior. The kind of indicators for success that we would look for to qualify for this track are similar to the previous one. So we'd be looking for probably a B or B+ or higher in 8th grade algebra. Also MAP scores in that similar range of 241 to 259. And we do also consider 8th grade teacher recommendations as we make these decisions. That would be our AP Statistics 4-year plan. Next one would be our FST 4-year plan. And this one is a great option for all students who know they plan to continue their education in college after graduating, but don't necessarily plan on going into a math or science related field. this would be a great option for them. So this would involve starting in Algebra 1 and then taking geometry as a sophomore, Algebra 2 as a junior, and finishing in FST as a senior. And again, we think this is appropriate for students wanting to continue on in college, especially in light of the fact that our Algebra 1 course contains so much of the material that they are likely to see on standardized tests and college entrance exams. Our last track is one that we dedicate to students who have struggled a little bit more in math and need a little bit more individualized attention, which is our Algebra II four-year plan. So this one involves starting in Algebra 1A as a freshman. And Algebra 1A, which then is followed by Algebra 1B, is a special class we've designed for students who have struggled in math, who really don't necessarily like it, but need some extra support and a little bit more individualized attention to complete their graduation requirements in math. So people on this track for those first 2 years will be in classes that are smaller than our normal math classes might be. So usually about 6 to 10 students in these. That gives them a chance to get some more personalized help and attention. So these students would start in Algebra 1A and then take Algebra 1B, which is our Algebra 1 class taught over 2 years instead of over 1. Then, as a junior, they would take geometry. And for these students who often don't really love math, they might choose to stop after the geometry class, because at this point, they would have completed that 3-year graduation requirement. They would have the option of going on to Algebra 2 if they choose to, if we win them over and they start to enjoy math more along the way. But this would be an option that would help them get to that graduation requirement without having to take Algebra 2. This class, we really try to cater, again, specifically to students who really need it. So a couple requirements that this class involves is math scores being below a 235, and a special meeting with the math department and the principal to really assess if this track would be a good fit for you and would help give you the support that you would need to excel in math. And finally, we like to just talk about how we integrate our Christian perspective into our math classes here. Everything we do here we know is a gift from God, and we believe the same thing about math. We know that math is a beautiful language that has been ordered and created by God. And we that teach math here love sharing with our students how we see the beauty of God's creation in mathematics and how the patterns and just the results that we see really point us to our Creator. We also at Chicago Christian believe that relationships matter, and we are committed to building relationships and supporting our students along the way. That is really my absolute favorite part of this job. Every year I love hearing from former students about how their future math classes are going. I sometimes get requests for help with their college math classes, and we just love getting to build relationships through what we do that we hope will last long after our students leave our math classes here. And also, I like to share with my classes every year that I really believe part of my calling as a math teacher comes from thinking about this quote that says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Greatness is not an action then, but a habit." And I am always honest with my students that much of what they learn in math, they might not apply directly to their future careers, but we really believe that persevering and learning to follow the patterns of math builds habits and disciplines and will help prepare them intellectually and just in their character for whatever their future calling and vocation might be. We really believe that though the math that we teach might not have direct application, that the principles and the habits that are formed here will benefit our students in their future life, and that is part of our calling as math teachers. If you have any questions about anything we've covered here, feel free to send me an email. My email's on the screen. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about our math curriculum at Chicago Christian. Thanks again for attending this session. And my name's Philip Stanton. I look forward to hearing from you and maybe seeing you around campus. Thank you.